Hello， 大家好，我是 Modupe， 欢迎回来我的频道 Dupe 321。Welcome back to another episode of Drama Recap, aka DRP. You're watching episode 3 of I Cannot Hug You. In episode 3, Jihao actually goes out on a date with Li Xia. When they meet up, he asks Li Xia for his book, but Li Xia is like, I'm gonna give you later, because she knows that if she gives him the book now, he will probably try to sneak out and leave the date. They go into the movie theater and Jihao brings out a blanket from his book bag, not to cover himself, but to cover the seat. As you guys know, he's germophobic, so he doesn't want any germ on him. And so Li Xia is looking at him like, while they're watching the movie, Li Xia has this crazy fantasy of her pretending to be scared, and she like jumps on Jihao and Jihao protects her. So she tried to play out her fantasy in reality, but it didn't work. Sorry, Li Xia. Knowing Li Xia, she already has plan B up her sleeves. So they go to this fine dining restaurant and Li Xia tries to take off her jacket and Jihao is like, don't take it off because it's quite cold in here. And Li Xia is thinking that, oh my gosh, Jihao cares about me. So Jihao tells her that if she sneezes, then she's gonna spread bacteria. You already know that Jihao doesn't want that. Yet, that was another fail for her. Introduce themselves and Li Xia tries to go in for a handshake, but instead Jihao gives her a toast. The last outing, or rather will I say the last trick that Li Xia had was to pretend that her ankle got twisted, which Jihao again smoothly avoids. He asks her if she's able to get up and tries to call the ambulance, but Li Xia's like, oh, that's fine. I'm good. There's no need to call the ambulance. It's not that serious. That was it for Li Xia. So they both go to the bench to rest, and Jihao tries to explain to her that that he doesn't think that this relationship is going to work, that they should just end it so that they wouldn't waste each other's time. And Li Xia is really sad and asks Jihao that is there something wrong with her, that why does he keep on rejecting her. And Jihao is like, it's not you, it's just that this is how I am with everyone. And in my head I'm like, why would you say that? Like, why? Because I know that Li Xia will continue to persist. Actually, she's relieved by this news and tells Jihao that she's gonna continue to persist, that he's the only one for her. He's like, he enforces that, hey, this relationship is not gonna work, so yeah. He tries to leave and Li Xia's like, there's a cockroach on your blanket, and he quickly runs away from the bench. So once they're in front of their apartments, Li Xia tells Jihao that she's gonna go in to get his book. Instead, she takes a picture of his book and sends him 2 pages, and when Jihao receives this message, he's like, what in the world? So he calls her to ask her what's going on, and Li Xia is like, I am not gonna give you the book. I'm gonna be sending you 2 pages for every date that we go on. So if you want the book faster, then you will have to ask me out on a date. She tells him that she wants to help him get over his phobia and ends the call, and Jihao is really angry. Jihao knows deep down inside that he cannot get over his phobia based on what happened to him when he was a little kid. Next morning, Li Xia visits her older sister. Remember in episode 2 when I told you that Li Xia's older sister is a sheriff? She actually has 2 professions that she's doing. So in the human world, she's a doctor, while in the vampire world, she is a sheriff. So Li Xia goes to her sister's office just to inquire how she can help someone cure their phobia. Sister tells her that she can't force someone to cure their phobia, that they have to be willing to cure their phobia by themselves. They have to be willing. And her sister warns her that has been kidnappings of vampires lately. So Licia is on her way to work with her personal assistant, and the personal assistant tells her about a photo shoot abroad that she signed Licia for, and she tells Licia that they'll need a new portfolio or like a couple photo shoot, and Licia thinks about Zhehao and calls up Zhehao and tells Zhehao that they're going out on another date. She didn't tell him that it's going to be a photo shoot because she knows that Zhehao will definitely not come. So he goes out on the date, which is the photo shoot, and he still doesn't know that it's a photo shoot. So once he gets to the date, Licia reveals to him that it is actually a photo shoot. Zhehao is totally angry. So she eventually convinces him to do the photo shoot with her, and oh my goodness, the photo shoot was horrible. When I say horrible, it was horrible. So during the photo shoot, Licia tries to kiss him, but Zhehao felt that someone was really close to him, and he opens his eyes and see Licia this close and pushes her. They were on their way back home. They had a little bit of argument, and Licia tries to tell him that, you know, he overreacted. And in my head, I'm like, girl, you know that he's germophobia. He doesn't like to be in public places. So why would you put him in such situation? And he actually says that, you know, it's her fault, that you know that I don't like being in public places, so why would you put me in such situation? So Licia is in an apartment, sad over what happened, and she still sends him pictures of the book as promised. Immediately she sends the picture, she hears a doorbell, and she actually thinks that it is Zhehao, that is actually her close friends, well, her best friend and a close friend, Simba, which is her best friend, and Shi Huan, which is her close friend. The thing about this three is that Shi Huan is the human among both of them. Simba and Licia are both vampires. So Simba, Shi Huan is the best friend to Simba, while Simba is the best friend to Licia, and Licia is, I won't say Shi Huan and Licia are best friends, but they're close. So basically they're chatting, eating, drinking, asks Shi Huan if she can get energy from him since he is a human. In episode 1, the vampires in this series get their energy from human contact, from skin to skin contact. So Shi Huan reluctantly allows her because he is Simba's source of energy, and he's also a dancer. That means that he gets tired quickly. They did more talking, disturbing their neighbors, more like Zhehao, since so far Zhehao has been the only neighbor that I've seen. So Zhehao goes over to the wall to tell them to quiet down. However, in that moment, Shi Huan faints, and they both help him to the sofa. And Simba tells Licia that don't they look like a couple putting their child to sleep, and Licia is like, Shi Huan is a big child, and who will marry you anyways? Like, who will marry Simba anyways? He tells her that she will be the one to marry him, and Licia is taken by that comment, and that's where episode 3 ends. And in episode 4, we'll see whether Licia accepts or rejects his confession. Let me know your thoughts about this episode, whether you like Licia and Zhehao together, or whether you prefer Simba and Licia together, or what you think about Licia trying to help Zhehao with his phobia. Do you think she's going overboard? Let me know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's episode. Subscribe for more drama recap videos, and I'll see you in the next one.